Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, African Confessions. So we are back with more messages here on African Confessions. There is a message that I want to share with you guys. The message reads like this. Hello, my brother Nashi. I have a confession to make. In short, all that I can tell you is that I am a Satanist. My story goes like this. I am a man who is aged 27 years and I am not married, but I have many kids around the world. So after finishing my secondary school, then I traveled around Africa. I attended so many universities around Africa, and the reason why I had to attend so many universities, the most popular universities in Africa, it was that I had an assignment that had been given to me when I joined Satanism. How I got into this thing of Satanism is that when I had just finished my secondary education, I then got a job opportunity from this man that I just met from Norway. This man was claiming that he was from Jamaica, but from the way that he spoke, I saw that he was just lying to me, because when these Jamaicans, when they speak English, you can clearly hear that this person is from Jamaica, but this guy, it did not sound anywhere near to how those guys from Jamaica sounds. So when this guy offered me a job, I quickly accepted, because I told myself this was an opportunity. I told myself that I'll then attend night classes so as to further my education, but I'll be working during daytime. But what surprised me is that in this company, it was only the three of us, and all of us, we were young men, and the receptionist and our boss, who was claiming that he was from Jamaica. This guy, he used to love to wear black. Everything about him was just black. So this guy was a designer. He was an interior decor designer. So we used to go around town, especially in the homes of rich people. We'll go there, then we'll design or change the interior decor. So there was this other time when we went to this house. This house, it belonged to a very rich man. This rich man, he owned a couple of nightclubs around town, and they were not ordinary nightclubs. They were like the VVIP of nightclubs. So our boss told us that as we will be working inside this man's house, we were not supposed to wear anything that will be light in color. Even our undergarments, we were told that we were not supposed to wear anything that will be light in color. Anything that we would wear, from our own undergarments to the uniforms that we were given by that boss of ours, everything was supposed to be dark in color. If you decide to wear blue, it should be dark in color. If it is green, it had to be very dark in color. I was amazed by all the rules and the regulations, but since I was still young and I needed a job, I just followed along. After we had finished the design in that house, so when we finished to do the interior design of that house, when I looked at everything that we had done, I saw that the whole process that we had been doing, we were just putting symbols along the walls of that house, even on the ceiling, everywhere. It was just filled with hidden symbols, but we did the job anyway. As we were leaving, the three of us, we were given black suits by that man that we were designing his house for. That guy, he gave each one of us a black suit. But my brother, if I tell you that when we went back home, our boss then told us that no matter what we do, we should never wear those suits before we were told to wear those suits. So I don't know, this other guy that I was working with, I don't know what he did. But the other day when I went to his place, because me and him, the place that we used to stay, we did not stay far from each other. I was told by his mom that he had been rushed to the hospital because he was complaining of a very severe headache. So his mother told me that this whole thing of him having a severe headache, it started when he went to church wearing that black suit. Whilst they were in church, he texted his mom saying that he was going back home because the headache that he had was just too much. By the time that the mother came, he was already in bed. He could not get out of bed. So this guy was then rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately a few days later this guy then just passed away. Our boss was kind of angry at us, and I didn't even understand it at that time, because I thought that it was only that guy who had disobeyed our boss, but our boss was now always shouting at us, saying that we did not follow the command that he had given to us. One day he then called me and the other guy that I was working with. This was after 2 weeks after this guy that we were working with had passed away. So our boss then called us into his office, and he told us that if we wanted to get rich, there was a way that he could make us rich. He asked us, are you prepared to be rich? So we thought maybe we were going to be rich, maybe by hard work, or maybe this boss of ours, he wanted to leave the country. Maybe he wanted to leave his company in our hands. When we told him that we were ready, he said that we should get prepared and go to his car, and he was going to take us back to our homes. First, we went to our place, and he told me that to wear that black suit. So I wore that black suit, and he told me to collect some few clothes, saying that we were going out for a business meeting. We will be coming back maybe after a week or so. After I had finished, we went to that other guy's place that I was working with. Then my boss then told that guy that I was working with the same thing that he had told me. That guy, he went into his home, then he wore that suit and he took some few clothes. Then our boss drove out of town. We went to this beautiful place. It was a place just right there by the seaside. That house was so beautiful. When we went inside of that house, we saw that there were a lot of popular faces that I saw. Even that guy that we had once gone to his house to do an interior design of his house, he was there as well. When we entered into that house, we were welcomed as if we were part of that organization. After a few days, we were then taken to the sea. We entered into the water, but it was at night. But surprisingly, when we entered into the water, the whole place, it felt as if it was a dry land. There was no water at all. It was another world. Then we met another man. That man was sitting on a throne, and there was a queen who was also sitting on her throne. We were given something that looked like blood, but it tasted so sweet. It was like wine. Then after we had finished to drink that juice that looked like blood but tasted like wine, we were given an apple to eat. There are things that I did whilst I was down there. Those things, if I were to confess that I did those things, I might just drop down and die. So what I was supposed to do is that I was supposed to sleep with either 10 men or 10 women a day. That was my plate of food that I was given down there. So I did this. I was sleeping either with 10 women or 10 men a day. It did not matter if I mixed both men and women. I was also given a mission whereby I was supposed to destroy so many churches. Whilst I was on my assignment that I told you that when they sent me to Europe, I was given an assignment. I was given a ring to put on my finger, and also on my feet there is a ring that I wear, and I was supposed also to buy a house and also a car. But each and every day there was money that I was supposed to spend so as to attract people to me. It did not matter if it was a man or a woman. Then after attracting those people to me, there was a spirit that used to go around with me. Whenever I have attracted a man or a woman to me, then I will seduce, or let me say that that spirit will then seduce, whether it be a man or it be a woman, to have intercourse with me. After we had done intercourse, the moment that I'll leave my seed inside that man or inside that woman, spiritually there are things that will happen in the spiritual world that that person will never understand. My brother, For now, this is all that I can say. Like I told you, that there are things that I cannot even mention to you. If I mention the things that I did down there, those are the things that can cost me my life. I am still on this assignment, my brother. Dear listeners, right there was a short message that I received from Anonymous. This confession has reminded me of another confession that I once received last year on Messenger. There was a woman who contacted me and said that she is a Satanist, saying that her assignment is that she only target pastors, and once she seduces a pastor, then that pastor sleeps with her. She will take all of the glory from that pastor. That pastor, she said that pastor will be just useless. She even said that sometimes when she is watching TV, if she sees some pastors on TV that she has slept with, she just laughs, knowing that they have no glory in them anymore. Dear listeners, I'll be back with more messages.